evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to MATCHFIT Entertainment's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's LMU series. Yes, it is Monday night again, so we are back with the Rainlight boys in the LMU, well, the GT3 LMs, and we are getting through the season just quietly. I think we are at about around 8, and that means we are at the bumpy old Sebring tonight. I'm Davo, and tonight I hope I've got my wingman with me, J-Man. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah. Welcome back, Davo. Welcome back, viewers. Oh, you didn't go anywhere. Technically, I did.
I didn't go.
However, great to be back, mate. We got all the dials intimately working, which is bloody fantastic, because that was less than desirable having to sit that one out last week, mate, and
Sure.
throw all the weight on your shoulders. But however, we are back. South Central Florida. So we are at Sebring.
Sebring, however you want to pronounce it.
Beautiful piece of racetrack. If you're a driver, probably not the best place if you're a shock absorber. It's hella bumpy and plenty of lateral load here, so plenty of opportunities for guys to, I think, make passes tonight, because those bumps unsettle these cars. They get offline, create opportunities. So I think we're in for a big one here tonight. And at round 8 of the series, Davo,
yes,
some real cream rising to the top at the moment. We've seen some great performances of late. Obviously, Nathan Bewley working his way back to the pointy end in the championship. We'll touch on that a little bit, not too far away. However, the performances of late from George Goddard as well have been fantastic. Just a few little things to tidy up maybe around the pit strategy, and he has got all the pace needed to do the business, and he's already shown that in official practice tonight. A couple of little things to point out already for myself, having a week off and then coming back, obviously late in the season, heading out for what is basically a quarter of an hour quali. Interested to see some of the virtual energy in these cars, quite a few of them going out there with basically 100%. That it's an interesting stat there.
You've got guys out there
in qualifying as low as 30%, and then obviously a fair portion of the full field running quite a lot, which fascinates me, given that I would have thought they would have been going out trimming these things right up to the very limit. So interesting to see already some times rolling in. Gunther Rowe, 2066, I believe, on the leaderboard there, so that's good. Over Fraser, over Bewley. Looking for some big numbers, I think, tonight from the likes of Harry Lawrence, been off the back of some good performances lately. Also, like I mentioned, George Goddard got a ton of pace on that Ferrari for sure. Nick Firth, Davo, a few words of Nick Firth. He's hanging in there. He's only about 38 points off this championship as we speak, so he'll be looking for a big performance tonight with a couple of rounds to go.
Yeah, and he's probably got about that again, back to his nearest competitor behind in third position in the points there. So yeah, definitely another one to watch tonight. He will want to keep that march forward going. A couple of other notable mentions, I suppose. We need to watch the likes of, Steve Crossland, Kostas Makrolos again tonight. All of these guys, punching hard in the last few weeks. So plenty of guys to keep it our eye on tonight.
Yeah. And
a new name in there too, J-Man. Just sorry, quietly. What's his name? Jason Bone as well.
Jason Bone. Aston Martin, another Aston Martin to the field.
So yeah, another one to look out for. Unknown, so we will be keeping an eye on that.
And short of one Mercedes tonight, I believe. So short of one Mercedes by way of Matty Clark.
Yes.
Yep. Just taking the night off. He's been hectic busy. So shout out to you, Matty. Hope you get some well-deserved rest, mate.
Yeah, hopefully we can catch up again next week. I'm sure Matt will be watching, though. So when he's not racing, he's always watching. So g'day, Matty, if you're watching.
Right, so that time now the level's been lowered 203.50 for Gunther Rowe over Will Dixon on a 4-0, and then Shane Fodderdo, the newcomer in recent times to the LMU
Dixon
franchise,
showing some great pace last week. I think coming in third, I think it was, at Le Mans there. So nice work from Dicko in the BMW, J-Man. So another one to watch tonight. No surprise, he's got that car in provisional third. Actually, who went to the top there? George Goddard, and you did say how quick he was actually in provisional practice, pre-race practice. So knocking Gunther down a notch, and like I just mentioned, Will Dixon in provisional third. Shane Froddo, fourth. Robert Mitchell, should I say, in fifth. Daniel Bateman, Costas Makalos, Nathan Bewley, Pete Dawson, and Joseph Marnie in provisional 10th, respectively. There, J-Man.
Bewley to the top now on a very big 202.4, so that's a second.
That's
second, just over, quicker. And
that's a stamp of authority, that one.
Yeah, Macrolos joins the 202 party there to put it on the front row alongside Nathan Bewley. Still 7 3/4 minutes to go. But as you mentioned, good to see Dixie out there in the BMWs, rocking that beautifully presented bend, the bend paint job. So.
Yep. Another one to watch, obviously, we've mentioned him a couple of times already. Harry Lawrence, yet to get a solid lap in. J-Man, so definitely one to watch. We've got the likes of Lee Perkins. What have we got there? 22 cars in tonight. So good turnout here for Sebring. Probably not everybody's favourite. I think we talked a little bit off air. It's just like, I'm so glad I'm watching it and not driving it. I don't mind the track, but I much prefer watching it than driving it. Bumpy old place, this.
Yep.
Kenneth Worcester
got in response. He's in there on a 3-4. Can he go better? Yes, he can. He can go 202.5 to only be just under 2 tenths away from Nathan Bewley. So he's put himself in a good spot to be able to challenge Nathan if it remains the same. However, you could expect there'll be a little bit of movement up and down the field still with these times to go. As you mentioned, Harry Lawrence goes in there on a 207.4, starts another lap.
Yeah, still another over 6 minutes yet to run, so a few more laps for these boys. Plenty of time left to cut a lap for the likes of Lawrence. Hayden Tegg back in the pit lane in the Golf Mustang. We did have cameras on one of the Lexi, the Lexus of Kenneth Worcester. Kenneth always comes with his own fan club. We love that. In the Wheels Inc. Lexus. Yeah. Unmistakable.
Go Wheels.
Okay, where is just quietly, just thinking about that. Is that Nick Firth just behind him there? Nick Firth.
Yeah, Firthy currently sitting P17 on a 205.6. So you just want a little bit more out of that. I'm sure he can probably extract a 4. And jump up into the party a little bit. I'm sure he'd like to see himself in the 10. We just saw a little bit of movement there. Who was there? I would
have expected so.
Just trying to pick who there. Shane Fodderdo into the pit lane. Now this pit lane, we talked about this pit lane off of camera a little earlier. This one is a really interesting entry. It is basically a long way before the start-finish line. They come in down through turn 14 off of Bishop Bend there, and then they head towards 15 and then tuck it down. They don't even complete 15 or 16, and they're down there.
No, it's way on the back straight here. It's not the old pit lane, as I would probably refer to it. It's down on the back straight there.
Goddard coming through for another lap. Look pretty tidy. What is it? So he's in there on a
Goddard,
2:02.59.
we just picked up spinning, so it won't be
okay.
a quick lap for Goddard.
Sorry, I must have just picked up just after that. It looked pretty tidy, but
Lawrence still struggling to pull a lap, actually, J-Man. But look, we have seen this with Lawrence over the, I suppose, the past 4 or 5 rounds, even from way back at Coda, where the car didn't qualify well, but this man, if anyone can drive through a field of cars, I tell you, Harry Lawrence in that plaid painted Porsche can do it. So definitely watch that space, no matter. But he is sitting in 10th provisionally at the moment, J-Man. Steve Crossland, another notable mention, qualified very well at Le Mans in the number 43 SIMBLACKS Aston Martin. Got into a bit of mischief in lap 1. I think it might have been the end of lap 1 or early in lap 2 there. Got that car off track, missed the walls, and then raced really well to get that car back to where he did. Shane Frodo, I think only his 3rd maybe round here with in the LMU series here with Rain Light Racing. No, I don't think any stranger to Rain Light Racing, but I think new to the LMU platform. So, and look, we have seen him, as we just got him on camera there. It's taken him maybe a little bit of time to come up to speed. Saw him shine a little bit last week with some really good pacing qualifying, but yeah, look, come race time, it's not all about how fast you're going, but how straight you can keep this thing throughout the race. Big race last week, different this week, J-Man. What are we on? 75-minute race this week, I think it is.
It is definitely going to be a different race. This turn 1, just watching him go through, a fantastic piece of racetrack. They turn up there at about 240 odd k an hour and scrub off around about, I think the best I've sort of seen is about 162 k an hour through the middle, and then back very, very quickly up to north of 190, 200 k an hour before they tip it in again to turn 3. Very, very cool piece of racetrack, and a lot of commitment required. I've seen guys trying to get through there in the middle of about 170k, and it narrows up very quickly on the exit. So,
doesn't it well?
Yeah, great piece of racetrack. We see Shane coming. Sorry, you're on with Crossy.
Oh, we're on Crossy at the moment, but we...
Yeah, copy, mate.
Shane, on a hottie there by the looks of it.
Yep.
Second, provisionally 13.
So Crossy now coming through 15, 16, heading down, I think he is, yeah, Le Mans. So this is 16, they'll come out, big back straight here. This is the Ullman straight. Get all the way up round to about 252, 255k an hour, and then just, it wills them into firing it into this double or triple right-hander here for the final. It's so wide.
It is so bumpy, bro.
I think that was possibly a little bit too wide.
Looks
maybe Crossy opting for a little bit of a different line on the very exit part.
Hey, and that can work here. This is multiple lines you can take through that that corner.
P7 Crossy provisionally on a 203.2. But hey, look, nobody's topped the 202.4 from Nathan Bewley.
Definitely not.
Speak.
20 seconds to run in qualifying, J-Man, so time is running out.
Yeah, very good through turn 1. That time round was George Goddard. He knows that this is it. This is the final hurrah for him in this qualifying session. Can he switch sides on the grid?
Mitchell just pipping Pete Dawson for 8th position there. Who else is that on track? Firthy's packed it up already. Jonathan Warren's packed it up. Lawrence and Merkelos also all in the garage already. Goddard's still on track, J-Man. Bewley in. It is 0 on the clock.
Oh, what's that? So, what's that there, Mr. Matty Clark? Hoping Jose has a good race tonight. Anonymous donors gifted him a direct drive wheel today. Big upgrade from the Logic Tech G29. He was absolutely. So I presume is that?
So who's that?
Is it?
Oh, that's
Marnie
Joseph.
we're talking about?
That's
Yep.
Marty. Yep. Awesome work. So Joseph, a little maybe with the up, you know. The upgrades, I get it, but you know, like those first couple of races after the upgrades can be a little bit, whoa, trying to find your feet. So, good luck. We will keep an eye on that, Joseph, but excellent to see you tucked in behind direct drive wheel. Now, at the moment, who is that also just rolling in the pit? So that's Robbie Mitchell, a couple of guys. I think it's Chris Fraser, actually, in the Mustang there. Obviously, pit lanes here in LMU, full contact zones in LMU. So these guys, some of these boys from the old ACC platform have got to be very conscious of that as they roll into pit lane. Shane Frodo, one of the last to come across the line. J-Man, he actually is the last to come across the line. Puts it in 9th position, though, from 13th. So, pops it up. What's that? 4 positions or so. So, nice work.
Yep. And a good final lap there from Harry Lawrence, too, mate, to do the 2027. Very, very good. Puts him on the second row with Costas Makrolos.
Absolutely. And Joseph Marnie, who we were just talking about, puts it in 15th for the first night behind the direct drive wheel. J-Man. We got the calendar up, but we need to talk points before these guys go to race. It is Sebring. There is only 2 rounds to go after tonight. Silverstone at another 75-minute race. And then Imola for a 6 J-Man. Points.
Yeah, okay. So, looking at the points, we just quickly scroll through. We'll go starting at the top of the leaderboard. As aforementioned, Nathan Bewley has got to the top in the Mercedes to 4:35 to lead the way with 2 rounds to go over Nick Firth, 3:98. Harry Lawrence doing a fantastic job, as you mentioned, of late to get that Porsche, 376 points. Only a small buffer back to Costas Makrolos there on 372 in 4th. And then Gunther Rowe, 340. 10 points back, Chris Fraser and the Mustang, 330 points. George Goddard, 321. So he's still in the fight as well to make this top 4, top 5. Will Dixon as well, 313. Pete Dawson in 9th and Steve Crossland 10th. So that is the top 10 so far. And then we look a little bit further down the field, going from P11 down. Hayden Tegg, Sam Wozniak, Dan Hemi Bateman, Ken Worcester, Matty Clark in 15th, Joseph Marnie 16th, Rob Mitchell, Rob Fox. A few apologies there with Lily Glass being away. Happy anniversary, Lily. I think it was, if I read correctly. John Warren.
Yep.
And in 20th. And then we go through to Lee Perkins, 21st, Isaac Ichikawa, Kramer, Satherley. And I think a few names notably not there, but certainly we do see Shane Forodo, Mr. Roo, and Ryan Clements in there in 29th. So those guys looking to maybe bolster what they've got in the lower rankings to try and finish off this season strong. So looking forward to this one. Like I mentioned, we are in South Central Florida, around about 5.8 kilometers, 17 turns, 75 minutes of pretty big action here tonight.
Our big action is the word, J-Man, as the boys file away for this very short little formation procedure here, down the back straight, past the pit exit, and just through this hell bumpy. Look at those cars bouncing around, and probably more accentuated when they're going slow, to be honest. But out onto the old, well, it is the start-finish straight, should I say, but past the old pit lane entry there, as you can see, And this is going to be on. This is round out. We are at Sebring. 75 minutes worth of racing here for Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU Series, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by SIMBLACKS and broadcast by MATCHFIT Entertainment. What a start. Look at bloody Nick Firth out on the side already. On.
Oh, it's on.
2T1. Oh, Tegsy looks like he just got loose out in the back. He too, pulling that car back up onto the back of the field already.
Yeah, looks pretty clean. Firthy may have just dropped a couple there, although he's going to grab one back. He may look like he's going to get round one of the Lamborghinis there.
Lee Perkins maybe.
Yep, tucks on the back, Pete Dawson, but up the front, Nathan Beauty got away to a great start.
Actually,
George Goddard.
Bateman, sorry, J-Man, that's right. Yes, Bewley up the front, George Goddard, Harry Lawrence, J-Man, what the hell? Did get that car up at the pointy end of the field.
He
the
did
end of
qualifying P3, yep.
Dixie in fourth, Gunther Rowe fifth, Steve Crossland in sixth, Costas Bakalos with a ding-dong going on in the background there with Shane Fodenau and Robert Mitchell exchanging positions there, and that is Chris Fraser in the Mustang. He wants a bit of that. That is Nick Firth tucked in behind. So Nick Firth, maybe upper position, I think there, J-Man.
Yeah, I think he is. By way of
Bewley stepping out, Goddard. The fight is actually just behind Lawrence, so it's Lawrence, Dixon, Gunther Rowe. They can outdone Gunther Rowe here, remember that, and Crossy in the back as well. Good, solid start from everyone here, lap one, as they tip it in to the final corner.
Oh, these alternate lines through this final turn. We just
crazy,
saw Harry Lawrence go out incredibly wide, gave Will Dixon a good look down the inside, so he'll be thinking about that if that move plays out the same next lap, and that's going to be something to think about.
Maybe that's the way the Porsche needs to do it too, you just don't know. Such a bumpy track. Lauren Dixon right up behind, and there it is, that little trio there with the BMW of Gunther Rowe tucked right in behind Steve Cross. Lap two, it is all going down, good clean start, a little bit of a slip up for Tegsy there early on, but back on track. Bateman looks a little bit snaky coming out of two.
Yeah, so a couple of drive-throughs come up on my screen.
Ooh, okay, there you go.
Bateman with the drive-through, and also Ken Worcester. So a little bit of something's gone on there at the start of that one. So unfortunately, a couple of unscheduled stops to be had.
Okay, so that would be a start procedure thing you would expect, wouldn't you?
Yep. And thank you, Rowdy. We will have a good call. Enjoy it yourself, mate. And good to see you tuning in. Bobby Louise, always a pleasure to have you on board.
Absolutely.
What a great start. Nathan Bewley really making some good ground, and Harry Lawrence putting a ton of pressure on the back of Goddard, and that's equally backed up by Will Dixon. And I see that Gunther Rowe is right on the hunt too as well. So great start for some very, very familiar names up the front at the moment. Costas Bakalos out of P7, a little bit of an air gap there from him to Steve Crossland, but I'm sure if these guys get engaged in a bit of dueling, that's just going to work in favour of the Corvette. So great to see Bakalos pedal the General's machine up there. Shane Fodenau racing out of P8, so he got a good jump. Oh, I think maybe up one, was it? Rob Mitchell, he may have got that one off the start. And then Chris Fraser in the Mustang sitting P10. Nick Firth, P11, I believe he did qualify there, so no improvements yet for Nick Firth in the Aston Martin. And Dan Hemi Bateman was just having a very, very big look at Pete Dawson in that triple apex final turn. They call it Sunset Bend. Very, very quick corner.
Very.
I think he could be out in the sunset.
Yeah, crazy apexes there. Multiple ways you can attack that. I think it might have been. I think Dawson actually got Bateman. As like in the opening lap. So I'm sure Danny will be looking to get that back. That is right. Clements tucked in behind. Yeah, and he's going to go past. Bateman doesn't look happy with that car.
Well, he won't be happy at all, Davo. He's got to come through the pit lane unscheduled for a drive-through.
Okay, well, he's distracted.
Even if I had the opportunity, I don't think I'd interview Dan right now.
Maybe not, maybe not. Let's get on to the back of Goddard's car again, though, however, J-Man, because, man, Lawrence is ready to make the move. He's like, come on, we have to chase Bewley. George, let's get on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is Harry Lawrence, George Goddard. I feel like this is going to be a big duel tonight. They both look very, very comfortable out there. Not quite running the same lap time as Bewley. Bewley already dropped into the low threes, 2:03.3. The best of the rest would be Harry Lawrence on a 3.9, 4.1 for Goddard. We'll see what that looks like. Tyres come up to temp now. Brains, brakes, everything will be in working range right now as he has a good look, does Harry Lawrence. The Porsche not lacking any straight line up against the Ferrari, however, just thinks better of it as they tip it into this double right apex right-hander. Slightly different line that time from Harry Lawrence. I think it could leave him vulnerable to Will Dixon, because Will Dixon got a far better run. He was out wider and cut back, got on the gas pedal a lot straighter, and he's going to look to the outside of turn 1. I mentioned they turn up here 240k an hour, scrub it back to 160.
Oh, J-Man. This side-by-side action, the track just begs for it. Into this little flip-flop. And who's that? Gunther Rowe.
Down in there.
And look at Crossy. Crossy's right there. Gunther's through. Crossy's like, okay, I'm coming with. Has the overlay. Can he get the punch out of the Aston? Maybe not.
Oh, I tell you what, that was compounding there for Will Dixon. Then I thought he was going to lose a couple. He managed to hold on from Crossy, but couldn't do anything about the run from Gunther Rowe.
Yes. Good, solid battle going on at the top of the field here, ladies and gentlemen. Goddard having to defend second already. We are only freaking how many laps in, J-Man? 4 laps.
Yeah.
Lawrence on the attack, and then it's Gunther Rowe, Will Dixon, Steve Crossland exchanging positions behind. Costas Makalos is like, well, I'm here. let's get into it. Who's that in the background? Bloody Shane Fonato.
Shane's still there, so Hayden Tegg now ranging up onto the back of John O'Warren. So that little pack there, there's 3 of them involved in that. That'll be Hayden Tegg, John O'Warren, and Rob Fox. So BMW, Lexus plays Mercedes, plays Mustang. So that'll be a fascinating duel to shake out.
Yeah, and the Lambo of Lee Perkins not too far behind. So plenty going on there as well. Ken Worcester in 21st.
Macrolos on Crossland goes outside, switches back to the inside, goes back to the wheel tracks, sits in there. Right, shallow across, he's going to put out the throttle, he's run wide.
It's Macrolos through easily.
Pressure
and Shane shows the nose, just shows the headlight of the Ferrari that made sure Crossy knew he was right there. So Crossy shut that door pretty bloody quick, I tell ya. This is all, these guys still running seriously close together here. 5 laps, obviously. Over an hour racing yet to go. And these guys are on a 75-minute sprint race, J-Man.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely flat chat from start to finish. They'll would have worked out the fuel loads are required, fuel to put in, virtual energy. And look, high percentage of throttle here too, so I believe they are going to chew it up. Already down to the better part of burnt off 20% already in those 5 laps. So expect them to, I would think, barring a bit of traffic, to run particularly long here. fantastic piece of racetrack as they head round the back. For me, probably the best section would be up out of 13. They call it Tower Turn, and then they head down toward Bishop 14, and then head down to 15, 16, and then back onto the Oldman Straight. Such a fast piece of racetrack. The back sector of this racetrack is absolutely lit up with the top speeds. So gap now, I believe, what has Yuli got? Your data's about as accurate as mine at the moment.
No, data's just going mental, J-Man. So, we got nothing. So, crazy stuff with the telemetry at the moment.
I believe it's probably, from what I can gather, it's something like, might be around about 5 to 6 seconds. Harry Lawrence, however, though, he's jumped back onto the back of George Goddard, and strengths and weaknesses in the lap between these two cars are right where they are now, which is coming up to turn 10. I'm going to fire up to the hairpin. I expect the Porsche to be pretty good up here under brakes. Range up, right up. Gets a shallower exit, allows him to get on the throttle a little bit harder. Ferrari does look really comfortable through the high lateral load parts of the track though.
It does.
Track looks gripped up actually, Davo, and viewers.
Well, it does. It's just solid as a rock. And
yeah.
Look, we've seen that. We've seen that for the last few weeks. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right there, Matty. The tower is proper broken. Come on, 397 if you're watching. Fix your shit. Oh, there's one for the spare jar. However, so Harry Lawrence, George Goddard just broken away a little bit from Gunther Rowe. What was Gunther Rowe doing so close to the wall there? That was a really odd piece of movement there. I couldn't imagine there's any more grip down there, but it's an odd movement. And in recent time, it does look like Costas Bakbalos has got through on Steve Cross. I'm not sure if you picked that one up, Davo, but he is definitely through and look to make inroads into
Yes.
now.
No, yes and no, I didn't, because I was trying to manage a little friggin' data issue, but clearly I can't fix that, so we're going to concentrate on the race from now on. Chris Fraser and Nick Firth are close together as well. That is also Pete Dawson. I can tell you, because I don't need my data, because I can see it on the screen, right in, tucked in behind those three there. A good little trio there going on. Oh, Lawrence deep under brakes behind the Ferrari, J-Man, down at the head.
And a few people gaining a few spots at the back by way of Hemi Bateman taking that drive-through. I just saw Hayden Tegg was up another spot to P14, but that will be by the way of Hemi Bateman.
And that was also Worcester that got the drive-through as well. That explains the position he's in at the moment as well. So
yep. And he's got sights with Jason Bone as well. So that'll be Lexus by the Aston Martin, and then also Jose has got that Merc on the back of that pack as well, so that'll be a little bit of a three-way. His wheels puts it out into the air gap, just lets Jason know that he's there, and I don't think it's going to take too long before this Lexus gets on through, and he slips up the inside, and that is coming out of turn 7, turn 8, heading up to the hairpin of turn 10 now, so good little pass there from Ken Worcester.
So Joseph, Marnie, we talked about earlier, tucked in behind a track drive wheel for the first time tonight. Sitting in 21st probably just getting his head around all that, J-Man, but nonetheless doing a stellar job as we watch out over the front bonnet of Joseph's car, and just watching the exchange between Ken Worcester. Actually, we're on Jason Bones' car, so that's Barney in front, should I say, in the Mercedes, attacking. Let's get out of that car. This is the back of freaking Ken Worcester. Oh, dearie me. And it's on.
It is on. Outside
line.
line.
Here we go. Here we go. The other one. Who's that just recovering? Or they coming out of the pits there?
Warren.
So they're going to come up. A couple of sister cars here, by the looks of it, to Warren and Marnie. Very similar cars. Oh, just some alternate lines there. Wheels up in the air from the Mercedes.
Where is
Ken on the march?
Where is Harry Lawrence?
Lawrence has gone back to 8th position, so he's had a slip up.
Okay.
So behind Shane Fronado, J-Man.
Okay. Try and get a recap on what happened there.
So interesting to note with the mishap from Lawrence that Goddard is very close, or Gunther Rowe is very close to Lawrence. So I'm just wondering whether...
Okay, I can tell you.
Goddard and Lawrence came together.
It was up at turn 3-4. Harry Lawrence just tagged the back of George Goddard, and it actually rotated the Porsche, and Gunther Rowe slipped on through. So nothing to do with George or Gunther. It was just an unforced braking error from Harry Lawrence, and he has slipped back. Currently P7. So
P7. So he's not only let Gunther Rowe through, but also Will Dixon, Costas McElroy, Steve Costlin as well, J-Man, and pretty much in recovery mode as we speak. Shane Fronado. He is already passed, I think. I thought I saw Shane in front of him there just a moment ago. But either way, Lawrence on the march. Back to a little trio here that we were only just talking about a little bit earlier, and that is the trio of Chris Fraser, Nick Firth, and Pete Dawson. Firthy's starting to get a little bit impatient with the Mustang by the looks of it there. And really starting to get up underneath the wing of that car. Let's get out of the front of Nick Firth's car here quickly. Normally, we would have a little bit of data going on in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, to keep an eye on the splits between these cars so we know when to get to the action. So if we're missing anything tonight, oh, he's so close to the back of the forward there. But tonight, as you can see by the leaderboard, flapping around there in front of you on screen, it's just a little bit random. So
yeah, no, that's certainly a platform problem. But however, we will call it as we see it. So around about 6.5 seconds, I believe is. Oh, hang on. No, it's not. It's more than that. It's a lot more than that, I think. Where is George?
Come on. Have a guess at it. Have a guess
no,
at
it. No, it is. No, yeah, I think it is somewhere around that. So we'll take it there, but who knows? They're not going to know. However, good opening start to the race for Nathan Bewley and George Goddard equally as well. So what can Harry Lawrence do with us now after that little mishap? Just was the smallest tap, a rotation there, and it lost him so much. He can see the train of Croston, Costas Macrolos and Will Dixon ahead. Gunther Rowe, a little bit further up the road, he is hot on the heels of George Goddard Hayden Tegg does make another place up to P13. He has now got ahead of Ryan Clements. So Pete Dawson sitting P12. And who is that? That's Nick Firth and Chris Fraser side by side down to the hairpin.
Oh, so Nick trying to take the long way round. Has he got the overlap to keep it on the inside? He hasn't. Pete Dawson in the MATCHFIT Entertainment car. Going, well, Nick, if you can't do it, I'll jump in there and have a crack. Look at them, side by side, Aston either side of the Mustang if they can catch back up to him. It's on. Oh, here we go.
Last piece of racetrack now. Flat chat through these two lefts and then a little bit of brake. Tip it into this right. Left combination here. He does a nice job on the outside.
Oh, mate,
Nick Firth gives him room.
Well, he didn't really want to give it up, did he?
Beautiful.
That is very quick, very nice from both two of the most gentleman drivers you will get on track. These two boys, Nick Firth, Pete Dawson, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Both driving the Astons, mind you. Oh, how gentlemanly.
Yeah, Costas Makrolos now putting a lot of pressure on Will Dixon for P4. A lot of pressure there. And to be honest, I feel like they've clawed their way back into the fight with Gunther Rowe as well, and soon to be George Goddard. So about almost halfway through their stint, effectively around about 55 odd average percent energy left in these cars, so fuel will match that. So like I said, high throttle percentages here, a lot of full throttle. If you look at the throttle traces, they are certainly committed to the lap, and the best lap of the race at 2:02.9.
Well, we do have that data, don't we?
Yeah, intermittently.
There's very little going on.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Matty, 100%, mate.
But look, it doesn't. Distracts from the commentary, but not from the racing, because the racing is freaking epic. Yeah, watch this stuff. Looks fantastic at the moment. Some new Asia Pacific servers, and the game is looking sharp as always. If the tower doesn't.
Yeah, they got you on the payroll, I reckon. Costas Makrolos still putting a ton of pressure on Will Dixon. Like to know what they cross the line, what sort of lap time they're getting. See if we can get a read on Gunther Rowe's time across here as he comes across to round out another lap. Still got eyes on George Goddard as Gunther Rowe, and he will cross the line and post a lap time of, come on, give us something.
Oh,
Not even going to give it back.
Makrolos. The run out of the final quarter on Dixon there was good. Really tagged up behind him here now.
Gunther had to take 2 bites at turn 1, and that has closed the gap even more for Will Dixon. He just wasn't happy when he tipped it in. The car just broke loose a little bit on entry and had to have a big grab at it.
And Dixon's going to really start to have to worry about Makrolos, I think. You can see the strengths and weaknesses in these cars, though, from one part of the track to the other, compared to the BMWs, particularly between the BMWs and obviously Makrolos' call there. Looks like Makrolos pretty handy over the bumpy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matty. I was just typing, but clearly you're much faster on the keyboard than me. So, yeah, there is no minimum pit stop. It's just governed by the energy and the fuel load. So this is a great fight going on now between these three: Gunther Rowe, Will Dixon, Costas Makrolos. And Goddard just stepping out a little bit. Hayden Tegg now up to 12th, so...
Now we saw Tegg in, tagging the wall, turn 1, lap 1. So, good recovery from Tegg. That thing was quick last week, come 4th at Le Mans for round 7.
I don't know. Shane Fodderday retired. He is out for the night.
And again, through this bumpy, fast final corner here, the Corvette just gobbles up.
Meters
On Dixon. And again, into one here. Watch him here. Like when he came out of one here last lap, he got overlap up to 2.
3-letter words on good, Matty.
Yep.
About my limit. It still beat me.
Yep.
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 Oh dear.
So, Tags in recovery mode, like you mentioned, J-Man, up into 12. Big chunk of clean air for him at the moment.
Oh, we've had a rotation. That was Pete Dawson, and I believe it was Nick Firth contact down at, where are they? Just trying to pick up where they are. Okay, so it appears they were down at turn 4-5. That was where the contact happened earlier with Harry Lawrence and George Goddard, so that's a tricky piece of racetrack.
Yep. And clearly, yeah, we can just see on camera now as these two boys recover. There's Tag, who I was just saying was in a clean bit of air. Now, he right in amongst these two. So clearly, Firthy's redressed the situation. And the boys live to fight on, but now with Tags in tow. Taggles will be just thinking, yes, I got this.
Okay, here we go again. Just watch this Costas Makrolos Corvette as they come down the Ullman Straight, heading down to Sunset Bend, turn 17. Just watch the ability. He's really close this time around, David. Just watch the ability of this Corvette just to really get the nose of this car down shallow on the apex if he wants to. I reckon he's going to have a good look down here. Oh, a little wiggle there from Dixon.
Oh, he's going through easily going through, surely.
Oh, it's going to be a challenge down to 1. Like I said, about 240k an hour up here, down to about 160k at the middle of the apex. Not a nice place to be on the outside. Can he tuck it back down and go underneath him? Oh, beautiful piece of driving there from Dixie and Costas. But Costas,
here we go.
As they clip it in to turn 2.
Dixon knew the power of that Corvette there.
And they got company now. Harry Lawrence has made it back to them. And the fight still rages on between Nick Firth and Pete Dawson. Hayden Teague will be loving this. He'll be just like, you guys,
bad touching
again, and I'm right there.
He so will be, J-Man, you know that. We will actually just quickly flick back to that. Because these two Astons, like literally, even with the little touch-up earlier, straight back into it. No mucking around.
Nah.
Definitely not gun-shy. And side-by-side, again, these two going at it.
Watch Teague here. He's going to have a better line, I think, than Firth. A great job here too. P7 for Rob Mitchell. Just quietly achieving on his own. It's up the road a little bit from Steve Croston and a little bit of air gap. And we see Harry Lawrence flying into the pit lane. Gets the speed down just before the control line.
So early stop for Lauren. Probably just it's because he ranged up on behind the boys again there, J-Man. Maybe that was a good strategic move just to get out of that fight.
Yeah, he's looking for the undercut. Mr. Rue in the pit lane, I see. Is it? Yeah, Mike Rue. Oh, no, who was it? Actually, who was that? Just trying to pick who
what sort of car is?
I'm not sure who it was, actually. I was just trying to pick up who it was.
What sort of car?
No, I just scrolled past it and it was gone. It's all good, as you were.
Oh, thank you.
Look at this. Look at this. Nick Firth, Pete Dawson, Hayden Teague, right on the watch. Costas Macrolos after that pass. Just put a little air gap. He's got eyes up the road for Gunther Rowe now. He's putting a lot of pressure back on again to Goddard.
So easily the two closest cars on track will be, or three, should I say, Pete Dawson, Nick Firth and Hayden Tagg.
Yep.
J-Man now with Hayden and Costas and Dixon, Will Dixon, changing position there. Oh, well, not really. Tagg's, Hayden went into the bloody... Oh, Firthy! Firthy. So Harry in the pits there changed that situation in the front there. Firthy nearly tagging the back of Pete Dawson's car. They're having to take evasive actions. Allowed Hayden tag in the Golf Mustang to sneak on by. Filthy Firthy will be filthy, all right.
Absolutely. So that sees Harry Lawrence come back out after that stop, re-energised back to 100%. So he's fueled and energised, I would think, for the duration of this race. Still around 44 minutes to go. P15, and he has got Hemi Bateman quite a fair way up the road. So fair bit of fresh air. See what Harry Lawrence can make of that. We've seen him, like you said, with some... I think one of the qualifyings he actually sat out, didn't make it, and drove back through the field and ended up having a chat to us at the end of the night, so which would have seen him in a podium spot. So a lot of work to do, but I think he's got the ability, and the car does look to be flowing beautifully at the moment.
So up the pointy end, Nathan Bewley in a freaking another postcode, or nearly in another state of the United States here. Mercedes-Benz just wicking it up for the cameras there. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, he's coming down through 9, heading down to the hairpin 10, and you can see Goddard now is quite a fair way behind. So good job there.
So Goddard still with Rowe in the mirrors, not too far behind. Costas Macrolos after sneaking past Will Dixon is on the march, J-Man, and looks like closing that gap to Rowe as we speak. Will Dixon still not that far behind, mind you. Robbie Mitchell in the BMW doing well, but past Steve Crossland at this stage in the number 43 SIMBLACKS. Aston Martin, as always, SIMBLACKS back on board with the Rainlight boys here for their Season 10 LMU series. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. They will be giving some cool shit away at the end of this series. Chris Fraser in a bit of clean air in that fantastic looking Mustang.
Yeah,
as is Pete Dawson, Nick Firth and Ryan Clemens in 11th position. So,
yeah, and just in the recent past, Hayden Tagg, you'll see him down there in P16 now. That was by way of after that pass
into the pits lane
was made on Nick Firth. He took the opportunity to duck into the pits and re-energise that car, and has come back out in P16 behind Joseph Marnie. So it's a good result. Nice clean stop for Hayden there, and that'll look to come back and play into that battle once again a little later on with Nick Firth and Pete Dawson. So just watch that space a little bit later.
Oh, so we have, looks like we just happened to pick up on camera there as Ken and Jason Bone both snuck off a track there. They do have actually some of the lead cars starting to sneak up past them here.
Yep. And we just got word too, Chaz Fododo, the people's people, has gone and parked it in the wall and actually gone and had a beer with the fans. So well done there, Shano. Good to see you mixing it up with the punters, mate.
So yeah, nice Shane joining the peanut gallery mid race there. So awesome stuff. Stick with us there, ladies and gentlemen.
Good battle forming here. Steve Cross and the SIMBLACKS Aston Martin starting to range up on the back of Rob Mitchell, who's up to this point had a relatively quiet race sitting there at the moment, P6, and Crossy opts to go in now. So guys going in a lot earlier than I thought on this one, opting to maybe just go with that fresh air. So obviously, from what I'm seeing from some of the names there, likes of Harry Lawrence, Hayden Teague also opting for maybe racing a bit of cleaner air. It's not going to last for long once these other guys make their stops. It'll get busy again, no doubt, and it always gets busy towards the back end, doesn't it, Davo?
It can do, definitely. And just looking at the field so far, and my God, we are nearly halfway through the race here, or just a little over actually. It is still so tight at the top here, so I definitely expect it to get a little bit busy. Pit stops always shake out just something special, don't they? So let's stick around. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us again here, Davo and J-Man, for the official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2025 Season 10, their second of their LMU series, sponsored by SIMBLACKS once again in 2025. They might, look, these guys smashed it out so quickly they might even sneak in another one before Christmas, but I doubt it. Yeah, thanks for joining us once again, you freaking legends. Support us, support Rainlight Racing. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, and grab a fresh bevy and stick around for the next 30 odd minutes, because this is going to ramp up.
I tell you what, it is going to be a heavily contested podium when we get to the back end. Just looking at some of the numbers, Nathan Bewley at this point is, barring any catastrophe, is a shoo-in, which is by way of a pretty awesome drive by an average driver, I think was his account. But anyway, I won't buy into that too much, but I think he does a special job. But however, for me, George Goddard, Gunther Rowe, Costas Makrolos, Will Dixon, and I'm going to say Harry Lawrence are going to battle when we get to the back end over what order one of those guys makes the final two spots on the podium, second and third. And I really do think it's going to come down to that. I think Goddard at the moment looks good. However, he's got company with Gunther Rowe. We've got Costas Makrolos that's right on the heels of those guys. So you could argue that it's a battle of those three for the podium at the moment behind Bewley. However, don't ever count out Harry Lawrence. He stopped early. He's got a whole lot of clean air. He's lapping incredibly well. His personal best out there is a 203.2. And still with a ton of fresh air, and it's not likely to change for a few laps yet. So let us know what you think based on what you're seeing, where the cameras are going, who you're rooting for. But I'm going to say Harry Lawrence, don't count this guy out for a check on the podium, because the car looks good, he looks fast, and I think the strategy play could certainly put him back in the hunt with, I'm going to say, Goddard. Gunther Rowe not taking anything away from him because he's keeping the pressure on, neither with Costas, because that Corvette does look good. However, I think in the back end, I think Harry Lawrence is going to come at them on a hot tyre when they're just coming out the pit lane, and it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Yeah, it does look incredibly bumpy here. It's part of the challenge, I suppose, would be to try and get these things to work around here. That's where I think at the moment the Corvette looks good over the bumps, and so does the Porsche.
Oh, looks bumpy. Who's saying that? Haven't they actually ever driven this place? It is freaking bumpy.
Yeah. They need to spend some money and resurface it, I agree. It'd be incredibly fast if they did.
It's a classic. It's a classic Sebring. We love it.
Gunther Rowe once again down in the deep braking zone, up to the hairpin.
Costas, he's reeled him in, eh?
He has. He's right there. He's just he got to that gap that he's got now, and he's kind of just stayed there at the moment. So these guys start battling. It all plays into the favour if they get engaged in any sort of line defence in the corners. It'll play into the hands of Harry Lawrence, who's out there still banking laps in fresh air. Cars, Nathan Bewley 2029, Goddard 2034, Gunther Rowe 2034, 2035 for Costas Makalos, 2034 for Dixon, Harry Lawrence 2032. So those are the quick cars. Also Steve Crossan 2035. A heap of cars in the 204s at personal best as well. So the pace is very, very quick here. Hard to make up time on track when the times are so close. So those pit entries, you see them peel off in between turn 14 and 15. I think there's a lot in that. I think the way we saw how quickly Lawrence got in there, also I think it was Hayden Tegg also got in there very, very quickly as well. So don't overthink it, Matty. We got you.
Nah, overthink it. Overthink it, Matty.
Nah, look at Gunther Rowe now, right on the back of Goddard. This is what 100% what Costas wants to see. He wants Gunther to have a little bit of a dive, a little bit of a sniff here and there. Have a stab. Put him offline. Slow the corner up. Make them go side by side. It'll just be those tiny little things. And if he gets a little closer, maybe look to undercut these two blokes. See if you can make something out of the pits.
So just sneak
There's
past the pit entry
right
there. Yep. So it won't be this lap.
No.
Oh, Makalos round.
Oh my gosh.
On the final corner there. Doesn't look like he's made any contact. Has he lost a position? Yeah, of course, to Dixon.
Yep. And that's a shame because it's just after the pit, it's after the pit lane, so it's not like he can recover that and just say, oh, yep, I'll just shoot into the pit lane down.
No.
So he's lost a lot. He has lost a lot.
So a little bit distracted there, maybe. Unforced error from Makalos.
Expect to see Bewley in soon. He's down to 6% on the virtual energy, so he is starting to head towards.
Hey, he'd have a couple of laps, yeah. Next couple of laps, yeah.
Yep. That's a fascinating battle forming here. Costas Makalos has now effectively removed himself out of, I think, potentially that podium hunt with
for sure.
Half an hour to go at the pace of this race. It's just going to be a hard step.
Well, mate, but it slotted Dixon back in, which does not surprise me after seeing him last week at Le Mans. J-Man, Rowe actually backed off the back of Goddard, making a couple little unforced errors there, a little bit high on the inside of a few corners there, just in back a shot, dropped the pace off. Is he just setting up for a pit stop maybe? Dixon just super focused. Here's Gunther Rowe.
You read it well.
Oh, Dixon covers him off, but Dixon was on point, bro, behind him.
Yep.
And he's hit the pit entry like a friggin' bullet.
Yeah, he definitely made some gains there. McElhoff goes through. So just remember what I said. We saw the likes of Harry Lawrence go in early.
Is that Bewley in as well? Yes, it is. Because Goddard's leading the race. Okay. So...
Okay, so we do see...
So we've pretty much had first, third, and fourth all in the pits there. So we've got now Goddard leading the race. McElhoff didn't pit either of that little spin previous lap. So he's currently provisionally second. J-Man, Pete Dawson in third, sorry.
Yeah. Gunther Rowe just leaving the control line now, starting to accelerate up. Give you an idea. Harry Lawrence is just coming down the front straight. He could see Gunther leave the lane.
Yeah, he did.
Gunther tipping it into turn.
Mate,
Gunther effectively into turn 17.
Gunther did really well on Dixon there.
Yep.
Like, I thought Dixon was on fire on that in lap, and looks like he's made a gain on him. So nice work from Gunther. Hope he's juiced that thing up enough. So, George Goddard, J-Man, out in front. No surprise. Definitely holding down that second position solidly all race, really, hasn't he? Even with the pressure. Costas in the mix. Has Costas got a third position in? Was that spin in the final corner there a few laps ago as he comes into the pits, J-Man, was that enough to take that podium position away from him?
Yeah, I think it was. I think if anything, Dixie probably looking like a half chance there at the moment. I think you could say Bewley, Goddard.
Goddard in here.
And Gunther Rowe looks strong here. So Nathan Bewley effectively first on road of the pit stoppers over Gunther Rowe as the second of the stoppers, then Dixie, then Harry Lawrence. And that pressure's building as well as Dixie just has to round up one of the Astons there, maybe a newcomer on the outside. And that's allowed a better line for Harry Lawrence there just to close that gap down a little bit more. They can see Gunther Rowe heading up through the left-hander just in the distance. So plenty of sting left in the tail of this one. We're still 26 3/4 minutes.
And we saw Lawrence in very early, J-Man, didn't we? So, has he fueled up enough? Has that Porsche got enough in the tank?
Yeah, I think so, 100%.
That's
you look at someone like Will Dixon, who's only just come out of the lane, and he's got 62%.
Yeah.
And Harry Lawrence has got 61%, so well managed. And he's right on him now up into the final turn there.
Look at that's McElhoff ducking out of the pits in behind those two there, that pairing as well, J-Man, and not that far behind.
No, so he's done a good recovery there.
From McElhoff in the pits.
A big spin and had to wait for traffic.
Harry at it again in the V-dub.
And Goddard gets back out into P2. So it's a good job there.
What's the gap looking like back to Rowe there as we just stay in car here with Lawrence?
It's probably status quo, I think, to what it was pre-pit stops there. It's very similar. Maybe a slight edge to Goddard.
Oh, Lawrence with a massive go on Dixon into the hairpin, overshoots and Dixon goes thanks for coming. Oh, gee, Dixon just seen him coming. He just like gave him the space. And so
Another big stop down here.
Yeah, not quite so big though.
Good bit of racing there between Dixie and Harry Lawrence there. Lawrence really wide off of that one.
Oh, this Porsche. When he's got the eyes on, it's quick.
George looking good. Post pit stops.
As much as he pedals this thing well, J-Man, I think I had an interview with him where he said, look, if I had another choice and maybe next season I won't be driving the bloody Porsche again. So imagine how quick he could be if he was in one of them bloody BMWs or Mustangs or something. So nice stuff into the final corner. Here it is. Look at the varying lines. Overlap after the turn in. And look at the inside run. Can he get it done? Dixon right out to the wall. Wow. That. And here we go. One. Equally as awkward, totally different corner.
Yeah, very equally matched through turn one was the BMW and the Porsche that time through. But it's coming up to here where we saw a big dive last lap around from Harry Lawrence. Not as close this time.
Yeah, pressure's on though, isn't it, J-Man?
Definitely is. Definitely is. And the whole time.
This is the corner that he overshot. This is where the exchange started the lap before there, into that hairpin. Lawrence thinking better of it this time. Probably didn't have the overlap to do it anyway. But he's working this one instead. He's just going, well, let me try this one. Yeah. It's like, we'll just rip that page off. We'll have a crack at another one. And he's through.
Yeah, he's got some work to do because Gunther Rowe has got some pace on him at the moment. He can see him up there in the distance, just sweeping through that fast left-hander. And
it is a stretch, isn't it? Gunther definitely closer to Goddard than Lawrence now is to Gunther, so some healthy gap there and a bit of clean air. What have we got, J-Man? A little over 20 minutes, 22 and a half minutes, boys and girls.
Costas Makrolos is ranged up as well. You mentioned that he came out post pit stops and he did a good job and came out and could see these guys. He actually is closing in as well. So I don't think the day's not done for Costas as well.
Yeah, look,
does look really handy here.
They definitely do on the bumpy stuff. And look, he is in close enough that even just the slightest little slip up from one or both of those drivers, he's all over it. We saw it at Le Mans. The cars, it seemed like an even spread. It didn't look like anything too exciting until there was the slightest of slip-ups, and then it was on. Same scenario here, I think. Road, Lawrence, Dixon, and, well, I think... Do you think they'll catch Gunther? They look like they're moving.
Trying. Yeah, they are. They are operating at maximum attack, these boys. Harry Lawrence, Will Dixon and Costas Makrolos are throwing everything at this thing. However, Gunther Rowe has got sights on Goddard. I don't reckon for a second he's thinking about those three behind him. He's just got eyes up the road.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the net result is he is going every bit as fast as those three behind him, as is George Goddard. We saw the pace that Goddard had in official practice at the start of the night. Apart from Nathan Bewley, he is the quickest of the rest for sure. Goddard has really got the bit between the teeth and looks really solid here. Gunther, I think, is going to challenge him. But hey, look, anything can happen. We saw Costas Makrolos a little bit earlier have a little incident on his own down at the final turn. So it depends on how hard these guys want to push. The bumps, you've seen the guys talking and chat about the dislike for the bumps here, so it's obviously forefront of mind for all these drivers out there as they're tipping it in, and we can see it visually on track every single time they fire it into these fast left and right handers, that the cars are visibly upset about it. So
Yeah.
probably as much as Shane Fodderdo right now.
You wouldn't want to have motion sickness or something, would you?
Actually, he won't be that upset. He's got a beer.
Yeah, what did you call him? Chaz Fodderdo.
Yeah. The people's people.
So Gunther Rowe focused on the back of Goddard's Ferrari. Bewley, like we said, in a totally other US state to where we are, or the rest of these boys are. Lawrence chasing Dixon, not that far behind. Costas, this trio, the three closest cars on track, without a doubt, I would suspect, J-Man. As we move down through the field, there, Steve Costin in 7th, Robbie Mitchell in 8th, Chris Fraser in 9th, Pete Dawson holding out the top 10 in the MATCHFIT Entertainment car. Thank you very much, Peter. Awesome work. Firthy, probably filthy. A couple of little mistakes that crept into his race tonight. Holding down 11th position. Eggsy, I think we just had a bit of a... Somebody giving Tegs a bit of a shout out there earlier. Lisa Teg, yes. Go Teggle. Thanks, Lisa, for joining in.
Goddard just caught a couple of bits of lap traffic by way of King Worcester, and I think it was... I'm not sure who the other car was, although Worcester's just run wide out of...
to let Rowe through there.
Yeah, well, Gunther Rowe probably got the better run through the traffic, being the second car. So they were, by the time Goddard had got through, they were awake to the leaders were coming through.
And you can see back a shot, J-Man. You can see the likes of as we had Joseph Marnie on camera there, but you could see Lawrence and Dixon and Macalos in the back of shot there.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely there.
So again, you can see it there. There's the boys. So that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th position on their way. Lawrence got a bit of a gap on the boys there, J-Man.
Yeah. No, he's making inroads just after those lap cars. He's making some good inroads into Goddard and Rowe, but however, he's got to deal with those two cars by himself.
Got to deal with these boys. G'day, Haley. Thanks for tuning in. Yes. Go.
Yeah. Hayden's out there doing a good job in the Mustang. He's sitting P12, so he's definitely moved up from quali, and he's got a whole lot of fresh air in front and behind him, so he can see Nick Firth up the road. So that'll be the target with a little over a quarter of an hour to run. See what he can make of that. You just got to keep pressing right to the very end. Every position's worth that little bit more. Pete Dawson in the 10 as well, just notable as well. He was engaged in a pretty hot battle with Nick Firth for that spot earlier, so he prevails in that one for the meantime. So Harry Lawrence just has to clear Joseph Marnie on his new direct drive wheel. He'll be loving it out there, just all the new feel. He'll be feeling every one of those bumps through that direct drive.
Oh, where is he? Let's get old Marnie here.
Thank you very much, Matty Clark.
He'll be just so G'd up, he just won't even see freaking behind it. And here he comes.
Direct drive wheel on Monday, wrist surgery on Tuesday.
Wrist surgery on Tuesday. Oh, God, yes. Especially after bloody Sebring. I'll tell you, with their bumps. My God. That guy's going to have bloody muscle. It's going to be sore tomorrow. Here we go.
Does Marnie be kind to Harry Lawrence here?
Like I said, does he even know he's there? Like he took
He does now.
He does now.
Right up on the curbs that time was Harry Lawrence in the Porsche. a little bit unsettled as it jumped off them as well, but
they dealt with it nicely. Makalos just rounding up our good friend
Josie.
Yes. Kenneth Worcester there in the Wheels Inc. car.
Okay, scrolling down the field, what else we got? Like I mentioned, Pete Dawson in 10th, Firth in 11th. Where's Hemi Bateman? He's 12th. So, what has happened to Hayden Tegg? Where is he?
Oh, he's... Oh, we just had cameras on him before. He's in 14th.
Okay, so he's lost a couple of spots there. And
hang on.
Is he back in the pit lane?
We've got him off screen, actually. Hang on.
We've got him dropping down the order. I think he's parked the Mustang in the sheds. There's something's gone wrong there.
Okay, there you go. We literally had cameras on that car only moments ago. Looked running. It was running pretty solid in clean air. So that it wasn't that long ago. He was tucked up in behind that little battle with Pete Dawson and Nick Firth, J-Man. So that's unfortunate to see Tegsy or Teggles. Yeah. I think he calls himself out. But yeah,
fourth retirement of the race, that car, unfortunately. So it has been a battle of attrition.
Some of these races, J-Man, they hit hard.
Gunther Rowe, still got eyes on Goddard. This isn't settled. Second and third isn't settled. And can Harry Lawrence close the gap? Can he close it down? He can see them. He's nearly in the same part of racetrack now. They're just tipping it in through turn 2. Now he turns up there.
Oh, I can easily see them. We can just see that from that camera shot there. Through that little series of S's there. Clearly see the 3 cars in front of him. Oh, it's actually 2, isn't it? It's Gunther Rowe and George Goddard. And bloody Gunther has really ranged up on the back of Goddard too in the last few laps, J-Man.
Yep.
So, nice work from Gunther. We won't give him too much airtime because we don't want to put the commentator's curse on him.
On who, Gunther?
Yes.
No chance. Hayden Tegg with a disconnection, so that's unfortunate. He was having a very, very good race.
No. I know, someone flicked the microwave on.
Oh, not the microwave. Get the coat hangers out.
Got to get the coat hangers out. Hang them on the rig.
Stop it.
On the Wi-Fi. Dearie me. There's nothing worse than like a hardware software failure, isn't it, with this stuff, J-Man? Tough stuff. Gunther Rowe, J-Man, we were just talking. Shane got that one. I'll just see that. Gunther Rowe, slowly chipping away at that gap to George Goddard's Ferrari there. Always with Lawrence. Slow, that the V-dub's just getting a little bigger and bigger in that mirror every time. But Gunther Rowe definitely on the charge.
Was that off? They just went past Davo?
He's got, that would be Mr. freaking Bone, Jason Bone. In one of the Aston Martins, J-Man.
Oh, right. Yep.
So, yes,
so
definitely.
From Isaac, he's calling Harry Lawrence catch him with a few laps to go. Yeah, he's certainly...
I think so too. I think so too. But look, Gunther not happy with just the podium position. He is definitely chasing Goddard for second position, as is Lawrence. He wants the podium. He knows the Porsche's got it in him. So he's going hard. Costas, after recovering, J-Man, you've got to give this guy credit for where he's put this Corvette at this end of the road.
Yeah, look, it's a good recovery.
Yep.
And then Will Dixon, 6th. Steve Crossan, good job there at P7. Rob Mitchell with a great drive, P8. Chris Fraser, P9, he's done a stout job. And as I mentioned earlier, Pete Dawson holding down the 10 from his old mate Nick Firth.
What happened to Dixon? He's in 6th. I didn't.
Okay.
Just none of that clicked. None of that clicked in the last 10 minutes. But I think he's been down there for a little bit. So.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah, so he did come out ahead, I think, of Costas, so out of the pit exchange, so I'm not sure what happened there.
It's a mystery. Will Dixon currently holding down 6 provisionally. Steve Grosson, like you mentioned though, J-Man, in the number 43. That's a
famous number.
It is a famous number. It is famous crossing in the SIMBLACKS Aston Martin. Just bloody hell.
So Gunther closed in on Goddard there, the back sector of that real high speed sector. However, he didn't look as good through turn 1. He had to get out of the throttle on the exit apex there, but he has made good ground once again after that, so he's still in touch.
But I still think Lawrence is catching both of them.
I think he is, little by little. He needs probably a big chunk somewhere. He needs these guys to go at it. And look at Gunther Rowe now. The 2 closest cars out on track are George Goddard and Gunther Rowe. And once again, we always look forward to these battles because 2 could very quickly become 3 if they start exchanging race lines in the middle of a corner. That will escalate really, really quickly. But yeah, definitely Lawrence is closing for sure. A little bit of a bottleneck effect, a rubber banding effect rather, in certain phases of the racetrack, but he's definitely closed a bit of margin down this lap.
Oh, Goddard. I don't know why, it just surprises me that the BMW is keeping up with Goddard's. I don't even know why I was saying that, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the Ferrari, but then look at the Ferrari down here. It's like he just gets off the corner, he's off, you know? Gunther's got such a nice, I think all the BMWs, around that final corner on that bumpy corner there, they get right out to the wall there, and damn, they're quick. They look so solid.
Yeah, they've got it worked out. I mean, at this point of the race, 7.5 minutes to go, you'd expect so, but they've looked dialed from the get-go, those 2 guys. Just there, though, just looking at the commitment from Harry Lawrence to turn 1, he nearly wiped the mirror off the left-hand side as he tipped it into 1, and it was worth a couple of tenths for sure. And then we just see Gunther having 2 bites.
Slides it off there, yeah, just a little bit flicky on the turn in there. Got a bit of tail. Didn't even look like he locked up. It just tipped too hard on the turn in.
Yeah, this pack is certainly close. Just under 7 minutes to go. We are going to have a fight on our hands.
For the 2 times.
For the order and who is on the podium.
Oh, you know it.
I reckon Harry Lawrence hasn't spent this amount of energy and time to get here and do nothing about it. Another slide off the corner for Gunther Rowe. So those rear tyres just protesting about the level of throttle he's applying on the exit now. He's pushing hard to stay with Goddard. Goddard's pushing hard as well. The balance of that Ferrari in the middle of the corner looks incredible.
Yeah. And they don't need to look in their mirrors to know how close they are and how close Lawrence and Rowe is to Goddard. The pressure's on. The pressure's on. Gunther's just looked faultless the whole race. Just pushed hard. With no pressure behind him. Looked like he was making the gains on Goddard. As soon as the V-dub turns up in the mirrors, J-Man.
Yeah. Now I expect these front 2 to be slightly quicker on the entry to mid-phase of the corner, but however, you watch the speed out that Harry Lawrence will get here. Goes really wide and he'll tuck it down really tight.
It's a Porsche thing.
Get hard on the throttle.
It's a Porsche thing.
Yep.
You know it.
So here we go. We come into the strong suit now, I think, of the Porsche. This first sector is where he looks really, really good. I want to jinx him, but look how close he gets to the wall there. No disrespect to Nathan Bewley, who's in a different postcode at the moment. I think he's on his way to Tampa. But these guys engaged in a true dogfight now with only 5 minutes left to run in this, look, they call it a sprint. And the pace has been much like that. However, 75 minutes. Look at that. The second he got there, he went on full attack mode, did Harry Lawrence, and Gunther Rowe, fully awake to it, defended, put the car in a beautiful spot to defend that.
Absolutely. Rowe, as much as Lawrence went on attack, Rowe went on defence, didn't he, mate? And again, oh, look at this, and again! Both of these guys.
It. Yeah, he only shifted once in the brake zone, so he's doing the right thing here.
Goddard will be just going, yes, guys. Thank you. Carry on. Less than 4.5 minutes to run in this race, J-Man. Only a handful of laps to go, if that. And it is now or never. Lawrence knows it. Ah! Switches back to the other side. Almost.
Oh, that's as close as you could dare.
Wow. Surely he had overlap there. Gets the bloody Porsche back in behind the rear bumper of that BMW.
Beautiful.
Oh, I can't believe that. How close is that? That is some sweet stuff. Lawrence sizing him up again. That long, deep run on the entry there, and it gives him
Little wiggle for Gunther.
It gives him this early pickup on the throttle here, and look at this. Again. Down into T1. These guys are running out of laps.
Is that early pickup on the throttle close to the wall? He's going to have a run down to 2 here. Got the little bit overlap. Gunther Rowe turns across him. Oh, that is a sad shame to that. I think Gunther Rowe probably not recognising the fact that there was overlap there. Just tried to close the gap. Easy for us to say because we can see it here in the upper view. But, hey, look, that's racing. Unfortunate stuff because we've now probably been robbed of a very good battle for the next 2 laps.
Over Lawrence and Gunther, yeah, absolutely,
Yep.
J-Man. So, as it pans out now, Bewley, obviously, postcode change. Goddard, big reprieve for Goddard. No pressure. Lawrence, passed. In spectacular form, mind you, J-Man. Got the row.
Sorry, I'm just processing it. Was that the anti-climax or, you know, like...
I don't know. We were so G'd. We were so G'd for that. Then a couple of laps, it was like Bathurst yesterday, I tell you, folks.
Yeah.
On your feet stuff. Okay, so let's take just what is going on here. Costas Makalos is moving to 4th position now. Will Dixon in 5th provisionally. Steve Crossland in 6th. Robbie Mitchell in 7th. Chris Fraser, should I say, in 8th. Pete Dawson and Nick Firth, 9th and 10th, respectively. As we wind down into the last minute and a half of the race, let's give Nathan Bewley as he trips in to T1 in the number 17.
Yeah, watch this guy at work. Just look at the wheel work. Some 74 odd minutes into this race.
We may as well give him some airtime, Joe, man.
Yeah, he's done a beautiful job.
Nathan Bewley at his finest, J-Man there, the car control. And we have seen it week in, week out for the last a few weeks at least. I think he missed a round here or there or something. I don't know what was going on. Might have had a dropout. I think it was a dropout there a couple of weeks ago. But spectacular to watch, and you can see it clearly by the lead he has on the rest of the field. We actually will just get back to Goddard. So Bewley just about to tip into the final corner there. And
time has run dead, so this will be it.
Yeah, and Goddard at the other end of that straightaway, which is a long enough straightaway to land a plane on, mind you. So here we go, Nathan Bewley across the line, 75 minutes, round 8 at Sebring for RND-8 Racing's 2025 LMU Series. J-Man George Goddard around and out of the final corner. He'll be so glad that race wasn't going for another 5 or 10 minutes because Lawrence was coming.
Yeah, too right. What a fantastic battle. We see Costas Makrolos come across. Great recovery there for fourth. Followed by Will Dixon, Steve Crossland, Rob Mitchell, great drive. Chris Fraser also with a beautiful driver that, like you mentioned, beautifully presented Mustang over Pete Dawson in P9, and Nick Firth in P10 grabs that spot. Unfortunately, that was a car breaker, no doubt, for Gunther Rowe. Sees him retire only a couple laps short of the finish line. Hemi Bateman for P11. Mike Rood's going to grab 12th. Clements, Marnie, Ken Worcester for a 15th in the Lexus. And then we go Bone, Jason Bone, last of the runners. And then we go to our retirements: Gunther Rowe, Hayden Tegg, Rob Fox, Lee Perkins, John O'Warren, and Shane Fotterdo. So that is a wrap here for round 8, season 10 here at Sebring for RND-8 Racing on a Monday night. Fantastic battle. Obviously, we gave a lot of airtime to the likes of Worcester, Rowe, and Harry Lawrence as well. There was a lot of good stuff going on there until pretty late in the piece. However, these things do happen in racing, and we will pay homage to the guys. Just trying to have a look. Okay, Harry Lawrence makes a podium, so we shall grab him down and have a quick. Oh no, we can't tonight for some reason.
You banned?
Well, no, we'd have to do another way. It looks like the Discord's been slightly altered, so we'll just do it this way instead. I got him. It's all good. Harry Lawrence, you got us on comms.
I do.
Mate, what a fantastic drive. Talk to us a little bit about that. Obviously, first and foremost, the race start, and then talk to us about the option go for the early pit stop and what that fresh air did for your strategy.
Well, after the spin that I had at the start, I needed to take new rear tyres, so I wanted to pit as early as possible.
Sorry. Yes, we did catch that. So that was an unfortunate, just under brakes down there at turn 4, just grabbed the back of George Goddard, and it actually made you rotate, which was, I guess, a weird thing that the game does. But nonetheless, a good recovery, and then got into a very, very good battle, chasing down Goddard and Gunther Rowe. And look, we don't get involved in the politics from us up here. It looked, from my opinion, like there was an overlap there, and maybe Gunther Rowe didn't read it. So we'll leave that to the tech heads. But from that point on, mate, you were really charging up to that pack.
Yeah, I was comfortably a second faster than them, and I knew it was going to be a hard battle. Gunter, I've watched it back. It's a touchy one. I'll leave it to the stewards, certainly.
Yeah, 100%. Nonetheless, we'll reflect on the good drive, or the great drive that you had. I think that obviously that strategy that you played after the spin was a good one, and you played yourself back into a lot of fresh air, Harry, and made the most of it, mate.
Yeah, I did. It was really good fresh air. I basically had no one to race, which was nice.
And at that point, mate, are you driving to a Delta? And if you are, what's that lap time look like? Is it in the low 3s somewhere?
It was about a 2:03.6 I was getting on average.
Okay, good laps, mate. And tyre wise, obviously, apart from that spin that obviously cooked those rears in that opening stint, what were they like at the back end? Because you did ask a lot of them.
I think they were. I don't know what they were at actually.
Fuel wise, they didn't feel too bad.
Yeah, fuel was good. We just pit at the earliest time that we could, and then it was fair from there.
Good stuff, mate. Hey, another fantastic drive, mate. You're certainly an exciting character to watch out there, and we appreciate the performance you put on tonight, mate. Well done.
Nice work,
Thank
Harry.
you very much.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. So that was Harry Lawrence out of P3. Controversial. It was a little with him and Gunther Rowe. However, we'll call it as we see it. Was beautiful racing up to that point.
Either way, legendary drive once again from the likes of Lawrence. So well done, Harry.
Yep.
Who have we got next there, J-Man?
George Goddard to the box in P2, and I don't know that there was going to be any denial of this guy being on the podium. It was just which position he was going to be in. He's come up in P2, and I reckon he'll be pretty happy with that. George, you got us?
Yeah, hey guys.
Mate, what a fantastic drive. By way of pressure the whole race too, I might add.
Yeah, I'm sweating, man. That was intense, but that was awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest races I've ever done, to be honest, in rain light racing.
The pressure was on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't from Harry Lawrence, you were getting it from Gunther Rowe and everywhere, mate. And look, you withstood it. Hey, look, talk to us about, there's been a lot of talk about the bumps on this track, and guys talking about the arse meeting the wall at the final turn at Sunset there. Didn't look too much issue with you. I think I saw Gunther a fair few times gathering it up through turn one and a couple of times in the infield, but your car looked to be really, really good through the high lateral load stuff. Is that a fair description?
Yeah, definitely the high speed corners, the car's quite good. I think it just has a lot of downforce. So yeah, it felt really good. Just that those slow corners, that hairpin was a struggle.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think I just probably took a little less risk than the others. Like I wasn't putting my car out quite as wide as everyone else, I don't think.
Yep. And what we got you here, I just asked you about, so obviously at the time of the pit stops to go and obviously refuel, re-energize the car, what was the thought pattern around when you went? Was there any indicating factors about why you went when you did? Was it to cover off one of the guys behind you, or was it just purely based on the time that you went in, or was there other factors that made you go when you went?
So I just went a lap later than the guys around me. So I just, as I was passing the pit entrance, I saw that I had like 1.3 laps left. So I knew that I could just go an extra lap, and that means that I don't have to put as much fuel in the car, so I can get a quicker stop. So I'll just take that advantage if I can get it, you know?
Yep. So relatively, I feel like tonight the average pit stops were a fair bit earlier than we've seen in the past. That by just way of, was the tyre hanging on towards the back end of that opening stint, George, or was it starting to feel it a bit?
I was struggling massively with understeer, especially on exit of corners, and everywhere pretty much really. And the rear tires is what wears more, so that was quite interesting. I was expecting to struggle more with oversteer on throttle, but no, it was just a really understeery car tonight for me.
Okay, that might have been not a bad thing there, George, based on what we saw there, because, I mean, we saw plenty of nervous cars by way of the bump, so I think if the cars were slightly on the pointier side, that might have been a bit risky, so you might have dialed in a pretty good setup there, mate.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it overall. I think I would have liked the car to be slightly more pointy, but overall, I guess that's what I had, so I had to just do the best with what I had.
Yeah, nice work. Oh, once again, mate, honestly, the performance we've seen out of you of late, obviously I missed last week, George, had some techie issues, did pick up some really, really hot pace at the start of that one. Not sure what went south at the back end to give that away to Bewley, but another stellar performance from yourself. We're just seeing it week in, week out. You must be happy with your driving at the moment.
Yeah, I've got some new pedals and I've got a rig now, so a few weeks in that now, so I'm starting to feel really comfortable in that, and I think definitely spending that money and time just doing that has been well worth it, because I'm definitely seeing some progress in my driving, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing it here as well, mate. So congratulations on a well and hard-earned P2 tonight, mate. You deserve it.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Awesome, mate. All right, there you go. That is George Goddard racing out of P2 and bringing in Nathan Bewley into the comms box. And this guy is making himself a home to be the last guy talking to us tonight. And look, I struggle for questions to ask this guy because he's out there looking like he's just going down the shops for a loaf of bread and milk. It's so damn fast when we see Nathan Bewley at the wheel. You got us on comms, Nathan?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, mate. Hey, look, meat and drink out there tonight, mate. You got the start. Made a good gap early and looked like you just settled in.
Yeah, kind of surprising to be honest. Like in the practice that I'd done during the week, the car was absolutely terrible to drive. So I actually kind of don't actually know how I've actually survived the race, to be honest.
So a few moments out there.
Yeah, like when I first was trying it, like would have got turn one was obviously like big snaps at the rear, then it was like heaps of understeer into the last corner, then it would like all of a sudden then snap into oversteer. I don't know if it was like the bumps on the track or anything, but yeah. So my goal, to be honest, was just survive the race. So to win it, I don't actually know how that's happened, to be honest.
So when you turn when you turn up on a night like that, just to give us some insight to what you're dealing with, obviously you had a very big air gap tonight. You drove away from the field, but obviously you're dealing with those things. Lap by lap, are you starting to dissect the track and the car's behaviour corner by corner as you go through? Obviously 75 minutes, you got a bit of time to work these things out, Nathan, probably more so than a weekday practice session. Are you doing that on the fly? Are you looking to take alternate lines the next lap to try and settle the car down, or where's your head at when you're dealing with that stuff?
I mean, obviously, like I had a very good like first stint, from the start to the pit. So I had so I had a nice gap then, and then it was more what I felt like I was more consistent at, like I said, the corners before, first corner and last corner. If I kind of either lifted a bit earlier or just rolled off the throttle and then kind of glided through the corner before and actually touched the brake, it felt like it steadied the car a little bit. So I don't know if it was just maybe too much load, like especially like when the tires started to degrade, the rears and all it started to like wear down and degrade. That it was maybe then if it was going to snap, it was going to be too much like well, what's the word? Too much like. No, I've lost words now.
That's all right,
But
mate. That's all right.
yeah,
No, I'm hearing you.
it's yeah. So I felt like that helped a lot. But obviously, with the gap that I had, I could do that.
Yeah,
Obviously, with the other people, it might have not been able to do. But it felt
yeah.
like it felt like it helped at least, and because that was, I think for me, the left rear was the tire that was peaking the most in temperature. So it was, if I could keep that down, it felt like it was better. So yeah, obviously rolling off and then just gliding for it before I like touch the brake kind of helped with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you clearly worked it out on the fly. If you weren't comfortable, you certainly didn't look it. We rode on you for a good portion of the lap at the back end just to
Yes.
just to pay homage to the drive. And look, if I could pick on anything, as fast as you were, I think on the last lap I seen you miss an apex, and that's about as bad as it got. So another fantastic drive. You put yourself in the box seat. You came into this thing around 38 points ahead of Nick Firth, who was back there in P10 tonight. Net gains made. I've talked to you multiple times over the last couple of seasons. You don't buy too much into the championship talk. However, that's what we're here for. We can see what's building, and the writing's on the wall for next week. So, once again, another fantastic drive, Nathan. You certainly have got a handle on these things in LMU. Impressive to see, and you deserve every bit of success, mate. Well done.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of the same as I was last week. I haven't even done a lap on the LMU Silverstone or even in a lap in the Mercedes. So we'll see how we go. I'm still, mostly just want to finish the races. That's my main goal. Like, it doesn't matter where I finish, as long as I can finish the race. Because even though the race is, an hour to an hour and 30, it's still an achievement to finish
Yeah,
the race and all that. So
it
would have
is.
got.
It is. It is. I think it was 75 minutes again next week, and I think we rounded out with 60 at Imola. So that's true sprint race stuff at Imola for the final round. So, but mate, look, however you do take it on, you do it spectacularly, Nathan.
100%.
So well done, brother. And look, we hope to be talking to you again on the podium next week at Silverstone. Another 75 minutes on a track you say you haven't practiced yet. So look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Nathan. Enjoy that one, mate. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, I'll be sure to watch the stream back tomorrow.
Good.
Thanks
Awesome,
for
mate.
everything you guys do.
Cheers, mate. Thanks
you. Nathan. J-Man, look, we sort of thought that was going to be a little specky, and it definitely delivered.
On so many levels.
Wow.
Mate. I mean, yeah.
There's some good battles on there, and just enough gap in between for us to run away and get some refreshments. But apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the bloody LMU tech stuff is just B grade at the moment. So
no, it's fine, mate. We're going 1 outs in the car park after this, mate. I'm telling you.
No, but look, thank you, J-Man, as always, for joining me in the comms box here for Rain Light Racing. But your legends, the bloody viewers, J-Man, that are joining us once again here tonight. All the fan clubs, all the girls that are watching their men race around with pretend people. Look, thank you all. Thank you, SIMBLACKS. Thank you, Rain Light Racing. And we're going to see you all next week at Silverstone for bloody round 9, ladies and gentlemen. Round 9. So, see you all then. Thanks, J-Man.
Thanks, Davo. Thanks, viewers.
Thank you, viewers. Viewers are legends. Look at that chat, just quickly, before we go. We need bloopers. Oh, we could probably have bloopers. You know that. Anyway, let's get out of here.